defies the force of gravity as they pull up into this loop. Now you'll see the aircraft collapse to around 6 feet away from each other. They reach 6,000 feet or a mile above us in the sky. You can see they form the shape of short diamonds. Voice there of Red 1 squadron leader David Montenegro. David is in his first year as the team's leader. He is a former Hawk flying instructor and Tornado F3 air defence pilot. He first joined the Red Arrows in 2009, leaving the team in 2011 and leading the synchro pair. 4, 5, 8, 9 acknowledging another move now. Red's 8 and 9 move to the outside, 6 and 7 to their respective sides. Now from Red 9's left wingtip through to Red 8's right wingtip, this formation measures 100 metres or 300 feet wide. But now in from the left, some patriotic red, white and blue. Let's have a huge round of applause. This is Phoenix. That very metronomic cadence in Red 1's voice. The idea, of course, is that in that very wide shape, the outside guys really have to anticipate their control input, so they're using the cadence in Red 1's voice. Flying on the leader's right wing now is the first of our 3 new pilots this year. He's Red 2, Flight Lieutenant Mike Bowden. Mike started his career in the Royal Air Force as an instructor on the Hawk before then moving to fly both the Harrier GR9 and the Tornado GR4 before joining the Red Arrows. That's him on the leader's right wing. Another shake down to the right as we get ready to fly one of our formation barrel rolls in the shape of chevron. This is the chevron roll. All 9 jets going upside down now at 400 miles an hour. Let's give the pilots a big wave, boys and girls. Those jets at 2,500 feet upside down together with the closest parts only 6 feet away from each other. We're in this shape, Red 1 at the front leading. We've got the odd numbered pilots on the left, the even numbered pilots fly on the right. In their 3 years with the team, the pilots will start at the front and then move back as their proficiency improves. On the leader's left wing is the next of our new pilots, Red 3. He's Flight Lieutenant Emmett Cox. Coxie grew up in New Zealand, but he moved to the UK in 2002 to join the Royal Air Force, becoming a Tornado GR4 pilot and then moving on to be an instructor on the Tucano, teaching basic fast jet training. Looking front left in this big swooping bend now, the smoke's about to go off in a new shape. This shape we've introduced into the display this year to honour all of those who took part 75 years ago in the Battle of Britain, a great anniversary the Royal Air Force is celebrating this year. So, honour all of those who have secured our skies in the past. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Spitfire. It wasn't just the fighter pilots, the few who had secured our skies back in the summer of 1940. Everybody in the Royal Air Force had their part to play, whether they were plotters, administrators, engineers, armourers, observers. Everybody did their part to ensure that the skies of the United Kingdom were secure. And today it's no different. The Royal Air Force operates on the whole force concept, relying on regulars, reservists, civil servants, contractors and all ranks, branches and trades to ensure that the Royal Air Force can deliver its output. Now, coming in this left-hand turn, this is our trademark. Cameras ready as we show you Diamond.
Take it. Whoa.
Most aircraft, as you look at it, is flying on last of our 3 new pilots, who is Red 5, Flight Lieutenant Tom Holt. Tom started his career as an instructor on the Tucano, was also the Tucano display pilot back in 2010. Then he moved on to fly the Typhoon. You'll see it displayed here later on, the Royal Air Force's newest fighter, where his role was exactly what I've just been talking about, securing the skies. The Royal Air Force's Typhoon Force is in readiness 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. They're ready to move to make sure that the airspace of the UK, and in fact the Falkland Islands, is always secure. That was Tom's job when he was flying the Typhoon on the fly. Now look out to the right, this diamond has widened slightly for a new manoeuvre for 2015. You will like this one. It's the Whirlwind. What we call an aileron roll manoeuvre, so essentially just a full left-handed control column input, and that rolls the aircraft rapidly around its longitudinal axis. The key to the whirlwind is getting all 9 jets doing it at exactly the same time. So now climbing over to the left, you see this loose diamond go into a much tighter shape. We designed the display so the shape changes actually form part of the routine. You're about to see the smoke come off as they form the platform of an American spy plane. So out to the front right, just starting a gradual descent, they form the shape of what was known as the SR-71, the very fast former American spy plane from the 70s and 80s. So that was known as the Blackbird. Get ready as they roll out to fly the Blackbird loop. Pulling up now at 400 miles an hour and 4G. And another shape change as they start climbing through the vertical. There's 4 or 5 move out, 2 and 3 move forward. As they reach the top of this loop at 6,000 feet, the aircraft have slowed down to about 150 miles an hour, where the controls are now less responsive, so the pilots are working hard not just to maintain, but to change that formation shape. They're now accelerating in the shape of feathered arrow, now up to 2G, 3G, 4G, about to come left in feathered arrow or Fred. That's the first part of the display where so far you've seen all 9 aircraft together performing close formation aerobatics. Now we're going to split down into sections of 2, 3, 4, 5 or 7 jets for some even more dynamic performing. We just formed a shape known as amateur champagne, and that will become clear in a minute. At the front of amateur champagne are Enid, reds 1 to 5. They're called Enid after Enid Blyton's famous 5. And at the back in the square are reds 6, 7, 8 and 9. And their collective name is Chippo. We don't get the opportunity, we haven't had the opportunity this summer to perform the next manoeuvre. We've only done it, I think, once, maybe twice since the start of May, because the weather just hasn't been on our side. So you're about to see this manoeuvre that hasn't been flown for quite a while. They're in amateur champagne, and they're about to roll out directly ahead of you to point at the lighthouse. So get your cameras ready as we get ready to start the second half of the display. Pulling up now at 4G with Enid smoking. Here go Enid as they split at the top of this loop at 7,000 feet. Now keep your eyes on the non-smoking jets of Chippo. This is the champagne split! Looking out to the right, the lowermost aircraft is flown by Red 6. He's the leader of our synchro pair. Pilot Mark Lawson marks in his 3rd and final year as a Aeronaris pilot. His his background is solely as a Tornado GR4 pilot. On the right, he's got red 8, looking left with the smoke is red 7, chased down by red 9. These four jets are now closing at 800 miles an hour for the Jippo Pass. The Synchro pair have left their smoke on. They're now turning away from us. They're pulling 6G, or 6 times the force of gravity. Everything in those pilots' bodies is now weighing 6 times more than normal. They're really working hard to fight the G-force as they point back towards us for the cyclone. Looking out to the right, 45 degrees now. Look for the 5 headlights of Enid. The wings of Enid drop down to form an inverted V shape. In from the left with the smoke on is red 9. Ready to fly the Goose. Cameras ready, everybody. Very steeply over on the right, drawing a red, white and blue stripe is red 9. He's Flight Lieutenant Joe Hurston, who's a second-year pilot with the team. He's a former Hawk instructor and Tornado pilot. Look straight ahead now to find the Synchro pair. They're pulling up at 500 miles an hour and 5G. Jets reach a height of 7,000 feet. On comes the bright red smoke as they get ready to draw a heart in the Sunderland skies. Top right, here comes another jet. On comes his smoke, adding a final touch. This is red 8, who's Flight Lieutenant Ollie Park. Ollie is in his 3rd and final year with the Red Arrows. He's a former Tornado pilot and Hawk instructor. There you go, ladies and gentlemen, standing out beautifully here in the Sunderland skies. Red 6, 7 and 8 with their heart and spear. Left and right for the Synchro pair, about to descend to just 100 feet above the sea to perform the opposition barrel rolls. To the left 45 degrees, you'll see Enid are being joined by Reds 8 and 9. In fact, Red 8 still joining there, chasing them down. He's been flying around at 600 miles an hour, having just drawn that spear through the heart. Now Red 1's pulling them up in a 7-ship Vixen formation. Now he's twisting this loop towards us through 90 degrees in a manoeuvre called a quarter clover. Now get your cameras ready for the good bits. This is the vertical brake. Looking left and right again now for the Synchro pair. This time Red 6 left and Red 7 from the right. They're closing at 800 miles an hour. They're going to cross 3 times in opposing 360-degree 6G turns in the carousel. Pilots are pulling 6G in those cockpits. Remember how much work they're doing to pull that. They're going to cross 3 times. Now watch how they swap their different colour from red to blue and vice versa, using the individual colour control buttons on each of the aircraft's control columns. Switching back to white as they cross around the centre. Now look out to your right, 45 degrees to find Enid. Press 1, 2, 3 and 5 form a box formation. Now the fifth jet is going to roll around Enid a dozen times. This is the Twister. Very dizzy with his red smoke changing blue is Red 4, Flight Lieutenant Stu Campbell. Stu's a second year pilot with the team, and his background is a Chicano instructor and then Tornado GR4 pilot on number 617, the Dambusters Squadron. That's the Twister finishing left. Bring your eyes further left to find the 4 jets of Jippo. In the first half of the display we saw a barrel roll. Now we're going to see a barrel roll with a very big difference. Red 6 now rolls upside down. You can hear that pain in his voice. He's pushing minus 2.5 G. He's now the right way up. The other 3 are the wrong way up as they fly the mirror roll. You can hear the pain in his voice. Minus 2.5 G is very uncomfortable, I can tell you from experience. Now look to your left to find the 5 headlights of Enid. The inside pairs roll back to the outside as they perform the rollbacks. Fantastic dynamic rollbacks finishing over to the right. Bring your eyes further right to spot Jippo. Now red 6 and 7 roll upside down in close formation. 8 and 9 start to roll around them as they fly the corkscrew. Red 7 there in the corkscrew working hard. He's flying his jet only 8 feet away from Red 6, doing it while he's upside down. Looking right, 45 degrees now for Enid. A red, white and blue snake-like shape of smoke in the sky as they fly the Python. Reds 2, 3, 4, 5 smoke goes wide. We're actually producing the smoke by injecting regular diesel fuel into the aircraft's engine exhaust, which burns around 400 degrees C, and that makes it vaporise. To get the red and blue colours, we add a dye to the diesel. We can carry 5 minutes of white smoke and a minute each of red and blue in each of the aircraft. Straight ahead now to see Jippo rolling out towards you. pitch up to roll around the synchro pair. They then roll. Cameras ready, ladies and gentlemen. Forward, yippoo, break. Before becoming a pilot with the Ravaroos. The synchro pair are currently perched at around 2,000 feet, now descending to just 100 feet above the sea for their final manoeuvre of this display as they fly the double rolls. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for the synchro pair! You'll see once again Enid are being joined by Reds 8 and 9 for the displays finale. Red 9 they're joining on the right as we see it, and Red 8 on the left. Again they've been flying around at 600 miles an hour, having flown the Chippo break to get back in formation with Enid. They're reforming into a 7-ship Vixen formation. Get your cameras ready for the Vixen break. You've been watching the Royal Air Force Aerobatic Team, the Ravaroos!